Some stories aren't about love that lasts forever. Some are about love that almost did. This is Almost Love. Stories about feelings we never forgot. And endings we never expected. Listen carefully. Because tonight's story might feel a little too familiar. Story, The Message She Never Sent. It started with a message that was never supposed to be sent. Daniel saw it by accident. He wasn't the type to look through someone's phone. In fact, he used to believe that if you loved someone, you trusted them. But that night, trust cracked quietly. Emma had fallen asleep on the couch. The TV was still glowing softly in the dark living room. Rain tapped against the windows like someone trying to get inside. Her phone lit up on the coffee table. Just one notification. Daniel wasn't even curious at first. But the screen stayed on longer than usual. And then he saw the name. Michael. The preview of the message read. I still think about what you said that night. Daniel stared at it longer than he should have. His chest felt tight. Not anger. Not yet. Just a strange, cold confusion. Emma shifted slightly in her sleep. Her head rested against the arm of the couch, the way it always did when she was too tired to move to bed. Daniel picked up the phone slowly. The screen unlocked. She never hid the password from him. That somehow made it worse. The message thread opened automatically. At first, it didn't look like anything serious. Just casual conversations. Old memories. Work jokes. But the deeper he scrolled, the quieter the room felt. Michael wasn't just someone from work. He was someone from before Daniel. An old love. Someone Emma had once planned a future with. Daniel never knew they still talked. But what hurt most wasn't what he read. It was what he almost read. At the bottom of the chat was a message Emma had typed. But never sent. 3 lines. Just sitting there. Unfinished. Sometimes I wonder if I made the wrong choice. Daniel stopped breathing for a second. The room suddenly felt colder. Not because Emma cheated. She hadn't. But that sentence felt heavier than betrayal. Because it meant something worse. Doubt. He slowly put the phone back on the table. For a long moment he just sat there in silence. Emma woke up a few minutes later. She looked at him with sleepy eyes. Why are you still awake? She asked softly. Daniel forced a small smile. Couldn't sleep. She stretched slightly and sat up. You should come to bed. Her voice was warm. Familiar. Safe. The same voice that had once made him believe she was the only person he would ever need. But now something had shifted. Just a little. Just enough. Daniel hesitated. Then he asked quietly. Do you ever think about the past? Emma blinked, surprised by the question. Sometimes, she said. Why? Daniel looked at the rain sliding down the window. No reason. She studied his face for a moment. Then she leaned her head on his shoulder. You're thinking too much again, she said softly. That used to make him laugh. Tonight it didn't. Because now he wondered something he had never wondered before. Was he the right choice? Or just the safe one? Days passed. Daniel never mentioned the message. But once you see something like that, you can't unsee it. Emma didn't change. She still made coffee for both of them in the morning. She still left little notes on the fridge. She still laughed at the same stupid movies they always watched. Everything was normal. Except Daniel wasn't. Now he noticed small things. Moments that once meant nothing. The way Emma sometimes looked distant. The way she paused when her phone buzzed. The way she occasionally stared out the window as if remembering a life she almost lived. One evening, A week later, Emma said something unexpected. "Michael is in town," she mentioned casually while washing dishes. Daniel's heart skipped once. "Oh." He asked if I wanted to catch up. "Just coffee." Daniel dried his hands slowly. "Are you going?" Emma shrugged. "Maybe." Then she looked at him. "Would that bother you?" Daniel had 100 answers in his head. But only one came out. No. And in that moment, he realized something painful. He didn't say no because he trusted her. He said no because he was afraid of what the answer might reveal. The next evening, Emma got ready to leave. She wore a simple black coat Daniel had always loved. "Don't wait up," she said. "It'll probably be quick." Daniel nodded. "Okay." She paused at the door. Then walked back and kissed his cheek. "Love you." The door closed. And the apartment became unbearably quiet. Daniel sat alone in the dim light. Minutes passed. Then an hour. He tried to watch TV. He tried to read. But his mind kept replaying the same sentence. "Sometimes I wonder if I made the wrong choice." Around midnight the door finally opened. Emma stepped inside quietly. She looked tired. But peaceful. Daniel looked up from the couch. "How was it?" She removed her coat slowly. "Strange." He waited. Emma sat across from him. "For a long time I thought meeting him again would answer something for me." Daniel's heart pounded in his chest. "And did it?" he asked. Emma looked at him carefully. Then she smiled a small, sad smile. "No." Daniel frowned slightly. "What do you mean?" Emma leaned back. "Michael is exactly the same as he used to be." She paused. "And I realized. I'm not." The room went quiet. Daniel swallowed. "And the message?" he asked before he could stop himself. Emma froze. For the first time that night, real surprise crossed her face. "You saw it." It wasn't a question. Daniel nodded slowly. Emma looked down at her hands. "I typed that on a bad night," she admitted quietly. "I was tired, and scared, and thinking about what life could have been." She looked back at him. "But I never sent it." Daniel's voice was almost a whisper. "Why?" Emma stood up and walked closer. Then she sat beside him. "Because a few seconds later I realized something." She gently took his hand. "That wondering doesn't mean you chose wrong." Daniel looked at her, confused. Emma squeezed his fingers softly. "It just means you're human." She looked toward the window where the rain had finally stopped. "Every life has another version that could have happened." She turned back to him. "But tonight I saw that version." Daniel held his breath. "And?" he asked. Emma smiled. "It wasn't better." She leaned her head against his shoulder. For the first time in days. Daniel felt the tightness in his chest slowly disappear. But Emma spoke again. Quietly. "Do you want to know something strange?" "What?" She looked at him with warm eyes. "Michael told me he sometimes wonders if he made the wrong choice too." Daniel let out a soft laugh. And suddenly the world felt lighter. Because maybe love was never about perfect decisions. Maybe it was about choosing someone. And choosing them again. Even after doubt. Emma intertwined her fingers with his. "Daniel?" "Yeah. I'm glad the message was never sent." Daniel looked at her. "So am I." Outside, the rain clouds were finally breaking apart. And for the first time in a long time, the future felt quiet. Not perfect. But real.